Bina, the first two.
Once removed, in theory. It's the first
Right.
first piece, and then once removed.
Yeah, and that represents the two male and female,
male,
the first
female.
two of the spheres.
Hence lighter.
And here we also have
Lighter.
the word kahal.
Hence lighter. Hence there's a lighterness to it.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
yeah.
And also, it allowed for the possibility, which I think is more important, because the feminine is concretizing energy, divine consciousness, and the masculine chachma is the flash. And that allows you to go into the land of Eretz Israel.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. Yes, I'm looking at this. Thank you. Jim, you want to continue?
Okay. Moshe's soul, however, was derived only from the first of these two spellings out of the name Havaya, from one of whose value is 72. This numerical value can also be derived from the name Havaya in square form. Okay? The square form of a name is the regressive spelling of that name, or of the name. For the name Havaya, this is Yud, Yud Hey Vav, Yud Hey Vav Hey, equals 10 plus 5, plus 10 plus 5 plus 6, plus 10 plus 5 plus 6 plus 5, equals 72.
Page 761.
Moshe's soul consciousness was pure chachma, entirely masculine, abstract. He was thus not suited to enter the land of Israel.
I was just thinking, that's amazing, because Moshe is always referred to as the sun, and Yeshua ben Nun as the moon. And the moon is female, right? The moon is female, and the
Why?
it receives from the sun.
We saw that
And the sun
before.
is male. I just think it's very fascinating that it all works out.
What?
Even
I'm not. I want
this-
to
Well,
hear your
we saw this
connection.
before.
No, I'm saying that Yeshua ben Nun is the one who leads that second generation into Israel.
Okay.
And he's the one who he's the moon, which is feminine.
Yeah.
And he's the head of the generation.
Which
He's
is
the
feminine.
head of that second generation, which is feminine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Okay.
like, it's a really strong, like,
Much.
Now I see.
it's a really
It-
strong.
it matches up.
Yeah, it matches up very well.
Okay. And you said we had this already?
Yeah.
I think within the last
Couple
few
of
months.
weeks, yeah.
Okay.
When this square form...
Hold on.
Oh.
I don't know. I didn't process.
Okay,
Digest.
process.
So we talked about not the 72 as the 72 name of Chachma, but 72 as Ma. What do you mean the first?
Yud.
Okay,
It's
two
the
things
yud.
here.
It's the yud.
Two things he says. I don't know. Number one, Moshe personifies the 72 name. That's what we said first, which is Chachma only, not Bina. Secondly, a second way to reach 72 is taking the name Ma, Memhe, the 45 name of Hashem. The 45 name is
Don't talk about the 45 name here.
I don't see what the connection is to the 45 name.
Where does it say the 45 name?
He's trying to make it.
There is
He didn't
none.
say it?
No,
Where's 45? I'm lost.
it doesn't give a 45 name.
Why did I see it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They say the 63, not the 45.
It says it in the Hebrew.
It, what? Which page? 761?
On 760,
On
it says it
760?
in the Hebrew that it's the 45 name.
So 135 is 3 times 45?
No. But 10 plus 5 plus 10 plus 5 to 6 plus 10 plus 6 plus 5 is 72. But why is that the 45 name? It doesn't say. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, when this square form is considered together with how it is spelled out with the letter aleph, okay,
Oh, my gosh.
we have the words a light cloud, whose numerical value of 202, that is, it is too much. If we then spell out each of the stages of the iteration of the square form in full using the letter aleph to spell out the letters hey and vav, we have yud, vav daled, 10 plus 6 plus 4 is 20, yud hey, yud vav daled hey aleph, 10 plus 6 plus 4 plus 5 plus 1, 26, yud hey vav, yud vav daled hey aleph, vav aleph vav, 10 plus 6 plus 4 plus 5 plus 1 plus 6 plus 1 plus 6, 39. Yud hey vav hey, yud vav daled, hey aleph vav hey aleph. 10 plus 6 plus 4 plus 5 plus 1 plus 6 plus 1 plus 6 plus 5 plus 1, 45. Total 130.
Okay, how did they expand the letter hey?
Hey, Aleph.
Hey Aleph.
Hey aleph.
That's the 45 name.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here they're
Right.
explaining why it's the 45 name. The iteration, we haven't had iterations for a long
Long time,
No.
yeah.
few years, maybe 3 or 4 years.
No, I was here for iterations.
Yeah, we had them in the beginning.
Oh,
We had them the first year or two. We had them a lot more.
okay. Well, you
And
did
you were
have
already
'em.
here then. So this equals 130. What?
And we're going
Time
forward
for
with
your
that?
nap? 1:30?
No, what
Afternoon
that?
nap.
Is after, he needs.
Wait a
He
minute.
heard. He heard
No, I had
1:30.
a nap
so-
on the previous talk.
Okay.
It was good, but.
So
I
let,
heard.
let's see where he goes.
So 130 is the numerical value of the word for the masculine form of the adjective
Oh.
light, masculine form of light. Kal, kuf lamed equals 100 plus 30.
We
Yeah,
said
yeah.
before, kala is the
Right,
feminine form of the adjective
right. So
light.
This
This
is
is kal
This
is
is
the
masculine.
masculine form.
72 is the numerical value of the word for cloud.
Oh.
Av, ayin, bait, 70 plus 2, so 72. The phrase a light cloud appears in Isaiah, a prophecy about Egypt. Behold, Hashem is riding on a light cloud and coming to Egypt. The gods of Egypt will squirm before him, and Egypt's heart will melt within it. 130.
Hold on before you go on. Go back to 759. And what is the last phrase that Moshe said to responding to the Korachites? It is
Yeah,
too much
too much.
for you, O Levites. You see?
That's Korach talking, correct?
No,
No,
that
it's
person's
Moshe, it's Moshe talking.
Moshe.
to
Oh,
Korach.
Korach is the Levite.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Korach said the first phrase.
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's too much for you, the whole congregation is holy, blah, blah, blah.
He spoke to Korach.
Moshe and Aaron said to them.
Yes.
Both.
It is
No,
too much
Too
for
much
you.
for you.
It's for you too.
What's the word? It is too much. Rav.
202. Okay.
So
We are at 130 plus 72.
130 plus 72, 202. The numerical value of the word for it is too much, Rav, Resh, Beit, 200 plus 2 plus 202.
Okay,
So
and
the
that's
light cloud and the connection with.
Avkal, a light cloud.
Mhm.
What's the connection for a light cloud?
It is too much. They're the same numerical value. A light cloud and it is too much are the same numerical value
So light, we have.
in the masculine.
I don't remember anyone. Okay. All right, go ahead. Let's see what we get.
Okay. All right. This is the mystical meaning of the phrase, it is too much. In other words, Korach said to Moshe, yes, Korach was saying this to Moshe before.
The second
Yeah,
one.
no, the first sentence,
First
yeah.
one was Korach saying to Moshe and Aaron.
Right.
And the second part was,
It is too much for you, O Levi.
They
Then-
both
then-
said it's too much.
yeah,
Korach first said to
it's
Moshe,
too much for you.
you bit off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
And then Moshe says to Korach, you bit off more than you can chew.
The first part, Moshe saying, and Aaron said to Korach, it's too much. And then in the second part, the first Korach said to Moshe and Aaron, then Moshe said to Korach, it is too much. They both said it to each other.
Okay. This is the mystical meaning of the phrase, it is too much. In other words, Korach said to Moshe, you personify the spiritual consciousness indicated by the number 202, while Israel personifies the spiritual consciousness indicated by the number 135, which was the assembly, congregation of God. Why then do you exalt yourselves over them? That's how I interpret it, was Korach
Yeah,
was
that's
speaking,
correct, yeah.
speaking in both places.
Korach speaking
No,
in the
the
first
second.
half,
The first half.
Moshe speaking in the second half.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I get Moshe saying, in the morning Hashem will make this known who is. And I'm just-
Right, yeah,
But the first whole part I get as Korach
it is,
speaking.
it is.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Well, no, they assembled against Moshe and said to
Oh, yeah,
them,
it's Korach, sorry.
That's
That's
Korach.
Korach saying to Moshe and
speaking
Aaron.
to Moshe and Aaron, it is
Yeah.
too much for you.
And then-
for the whole congregation is holy and Hashem
Yeah, and then Moshe
is in
spoke-
their midst. Wait, and why do you exalt yourselves over God's assembly? Then Moshe,
Moshe
spoke to Korach and
Right.
all, or I think he or Aaron spoke to Korach and all his assembly, saying, "In the morning, let Hashem make known who is his, whatever. It is too much for you, O you Levites." That's Moshe speaking.
Yes.
Right,
So the first part's Korach speaking.
Yes.
The second part's Moshe speaking.
yes, that's what we
But
said.
not exclusively, I wouldn't say together, they're speaking, they're in dialogue.
Yes,
They're more in dialogue. So, all right, so Korach Korach says, you're 202, which is, I guess, the light cloud in the masculine. He's speaking to Moshe, which also looks like Hashem is riding on a light cloud, okay? And then he says, while Israel is 135, the congregation, so you're up there and they're down here. You're high and they're low. Korach said, it's too much for you, which goes back to the 202. You have 202. Your soul is that of Chachma, while the congregation is that of Chachma informing Bina. That's with the double, Chachma and Bina together. You therefore cannot relate. You can't understand the congregation. You're irrelevant. That's exactly what's going on. So Chachma, the congregation is the combination of the Yud Hey, which we were talking about before, the first two letters of Chavaya.
Is
The
congregation.
the assembly. And that's 135. So he's saying, like, you're so way out there, man, up in Chachma land, and you're so pure Chachma, you don't have anything with Chachma and Bina together. You're just out of the picture for us, who are all holy.
And going back to the opening statement.
Which follows really
you
what
belong-
Korach was doing.
You're, how do they say it? You're out of the loop. You're out of touch.
You're out of touch.
You're connected with the people who left Egypt.
Yeah, it goes
We've
back
moved
to,
on.
Right.
We're the ones going to go into Israel.
Yeah, he's saying that too. He's saying that you're just out into Hashem land. You know, you're too far away.
Now,
I get some of that too. You're too connected.
so what is? Okay, and now go back. Help me out here. How did we get to 202? How did we get to Avkal?
So there was a discussion. 202 is the combination of 130, which is light, kal, kuf lamed, and cloud, which is 72, which is a light cloud.
Okay, hold on. 130 was the chart,
130
Yes.
is the chart.
and that was expanded spelling in iteration
An iteration
of the 45 name.
of the 45 names.
Huh?
But it's also,
Is in iteration Yud plus Yud Vav plus Yud Hey plus
Right.
Yud Hey Vav plus Yud Hey Vav and a Hey, but not just the letters, but with an expanded
Right.
spelling.
And it's the-
Yud expanded spelling plus Yud plus Hey plus expanded spelling plus Yud plus Hey plus Vav and expanded, and so on. That's how we got 130.
And it's the adjective of light. Kal,
So what?
kuf, lamed, equals 1 plus
That's
100,
that's one.
100 plus 30.
And then, yeah, but that comes later. I want to
Yeah,
know
yeah.
why did we get the word kal? Is from this 130, from this iteration of God's name, the 45 name, and then we have the 72 because Moshe fits for 72. For his chachma.
So just let me ask one question. You have, as I remember, 72, 63, 45, 52. So Yud is 72, Yud, Vav is 45, and 45 is Zeranpin. It's all the masculine. So it's pure masculine if you think about it, because Hey is Abba, and then
No.
I'm not Hey. Yud is Abba, and Vav is the emotion Zeranpin. Both are masculine.
Masculine.
Both form
In the parts of.
in the Parsophim. They're both masculine. So he's talking about Moshe is being entirely masculine. I'm just saying that. I know he says he comes from Chochmah, but he
That's
is
right. Chachma is a masculine.
pure masculine. But he says he comes from. But even when he plays with the 45, that's
When he moves down into Midos,
it's still
it's also the
It's all
masculine
masculine, pure masculine.
aspect.
It's still
Component.
Component.
Very
There's
good.
no connectedness to any of the feminine at all in the way he's
he
talking
also
about
got
Moshe.
he also got divorced.
That's another piece. That is that he separated
And you all
him.
said before he didn't go to Israel.
He separated himself from the feminine in practicality by his divorce.
We had that before here, that he couldn't bring the people into Israel because Israel is Eretz, is Nekeva.
Yeah.
Do we have that in here?
Yeah,
And
We-
he couldn't
or
be
we
Eretz
talked about
like 2,
it.
3, 4 weeks ago.
we talked
recently.
about it. So again, there's that separation.
So, or disconnectedness.
Or disconnectedness, and that also is something Korach is speaking to.
We had somewhere else. I'm almost sure that we once had that the name Moshe is Ma, Mem and Hey, and then the Shin had some other value, had some other meaning.
Right.
But I think we looked at Moshe's name as Mem and Hey. The gematria of Moshe is 345.
Huh.
The 300 maybe stood for, I don't know if it was 3 Elokims or 3 somethings, 3 Yud K Vav, only Yud K and Vav, not the less, it was something. And then
We
what's
have
left
that.
is Ma.
Remember
Yeah, almost sure we had that.
So,
Okay. Wow. Hold on. How much did we get to? So, so now we're up to 202.
it is too much. It is too much. Is like, it's the same kind of thing.
Okay. To explain.
To explain, you already know what I have written on Parshat Behalotecha, on Moshe's statement. 600,000 marchers are the people in whose midst I am. Namely, that the entire generation of the desert, 600,000 souls, were all soul sparks who were derived from the source of Moshe's soul, which was the source of all of them. The generation of the Exodus achieved the highest levels of divine consciousness and were able to do so because they share a common soul root with Moshe, who personified this consciousness. But now, Korah said to him, all that generation have already died out, through all the various ways in which they died. So now Hashem is in their midst, not you, as you said previously, the people in whose midst I am. Korah argued that Moshe was not the proper leader of the new generation. His mentality fit that of the previous generation. The younger generation, whose divine consciousness was relatively feminine, was not able to relate to the masculine leadership of Moshe.
Yeah.
But he won the election. Oh, no, he didn't.
Who Lahavdil, and I know very little about it, but we talk about Churchill as the great leader and who got England through the war.
And then the empire went
He
bye-bye.
lost the election.
He
after
lost the election.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost the election.
He
What,
lost-
later in the war or after the war?
He lost the election, I thought, towards the end of the war.
Towards the end of the war, before it was over.
Right.
It was almost
Which
over.
was a real sadness for some people in England. Yeah, it was before it ended.
Yeah, so
But the
But the ending was coming.
was no.
No, yeah, the ending was coming. It wasn't too far from the
It
end.
wasn't really,
Okay.
really close to the end, and he was kind of voted out. It was.
They felt they didn't need his leadership any longer.
Which is,
Because he got him through the war, and
he
that's all.
got him through,
That's
and
what he
I mean,
was
they
good.
saw the end in sight. The end was in sight, close to
obviously,
sight.
there was stuff they were dissatisfied with.
Well, no, not so much that. They were dissatisfied. They felt he was good for the war, but not in peace. They saw peace was
Not
coming.
putting it all together.
Not putting it all together. They saw peace was coming, and he was too
much.
He wasn't
ensconced
needed
in the
anymore.
war.
He wasn't needed anymore.
Okay.
He outlived his usefulness.
Yeah, he belonged to a different time.
Yeah.
Lahavdil. So, hold on. So Moshe said when they left Egypt, not when they left. And Balos, he said, these people, 600,000 people, that I am in their midst.
Yeah.
Meaning that I'm the
Root.
hub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the hub. And then they're all extensions of me. And so Korach responded to him, Hashem is their hub. He said, Asher anochi b'kira, I am in their midst. And he said, Uvesocham Hashem, that God is at their center, God is their hub,
Not you.
not you. Who would have thought that, and that's what he meant.
I'm grateful.
This is so powerful about a real understanding of Korach and the dispute that was going on between he and Moshe. Because there's this is a frequent theme that repeats itself even currently. It's a frequent theme.
We ready?
I'm ready.
Moshe replied that the exact opposite was the case. It is too much for you, all Levites. That means you Levites personify the spiritual consciousness expressed by the number 202, not I. It is too much for you. Rab Lachem can be read, 202 is yours.
You own 202.
It's yours, yeah, it's your.
Not me.
It's
You.
As we saw above, 202 is the numerical value of the 72 name Havaya plus the value of the word for light, Kal. In other words, the masculine Chochmah, as manifest in the 72 name, does have the implicit feminine lightness in it as well. This was Korach's error. he thought that the Chokhmah was pure Chokhmah and could therefore not relate to or lead Bina. Moshe knew, however, that even though the new generation was the generation of Bina, Bina still needs to be connected to Chokhmah, as we have explained previously.
Which is the biggest problem, what I was saying, the recurring problem is that Bina and Chachma become, again, they're not connected. They're not connected, and
When
that,
did you say this today?
I said it recurs. There's a recurring problem here, that it's constantly going on, and I said societally, this is still the big problem. When Bina and Chachma are not connected, this is where we get into trouble all again, because we don't have the flow. We socially, if it flows from Bina without Chachma being connected, we have all of this stumbling and confusion, which is what happens societally.
We said once,
We talk about.
remember we said once that you need to look back and see where you're coming from
That's right.
in order to be on a good path.
That's right. And if you lose that Abba Ima connection, you get into all of these crazy things that we are dealing with and have been dealing with in our own society. That's all. That's what I was saying, which we've reiterated many times. Transgender,
What you're
this, that, and the
thinking.
other.
Did anyone ask Chachma, like give it a choice, which gender it wants to be?
Yeah, that's the point. Transgender. I was using that as an example. It's become
The-
this.
the fact is-
it's crazy.
The
to
the
think-
fact is that if a person's male or female is in their cells, and no matter what operations and treatments and stuff and injections you go through, it's in your cells. And anyone who thinks that can change is a science denier. What Jim is saying is that we have to understand we have to be able to call a spade a spade. When nothing describes it better than the story of the emperor has no clothes. When the emperor has no clothes and everyone says, look at the beautiful garments and
Yeah.
such fine, exquisite workmanship and so on, they describe it, then, black is white, white is black. There's no definition, there's no meaning. We have this shows up many, many times in our society. I'm making this up as I go along, guys. I'm thinking of new ideas. We have this many times in our society. Imagine if you write a contract that someone's gonna work for you for a week and they end up showing up for 2 days. I was at a business a few months ago. There was a kid waiting there for the owner. He wanted a letter saying that he had worked there and he wasn't working there anymore, wherever he wanted to take it to. Clean-cut kid, it was just very nicely. He had shown up one day for work and the second day didn't come back. Now he comes back a week later, I want
wants
a
a
letter.
letter.
Yeah. So anyways, imagine if you say you're gonna, or I'm gonna give you an hour lesson, let's say, right? Or you charge someone for an hour. And then you say, well, my hours are 45 minutes only. The other one says, what do you mean? My hour is 70 minutes. Okay, so we know that an hour is 60 minutes, and to us that's pretty much absolute. Okay, don't give me about relativity and all that black holes. So basically, 60 minutes is absolute, but once you start toying with it and messing it, you're asking for trouble. There's no, how do you have a contract? How does anything work? But however, although I guess in time we see that I guess it hasn't changed, but we have changed our value. We do it all the time in other things. When we do, when you make up that you're going to pay $1 or $10 for whatever it is, and then the government gooses the system and the $10 is suddenly only worth $7. I don't talk about something that you pay for now and today or this month, but something that you're gonna pay out over 10 years or over 30 years.
Yeah, inflation.
We horribly assume that inflation is part of life, that inflation is inevitable, and nothing can be further than the truth. Okay, inflation should be a result of natural market forces, but the government monkeys with the system, and it throws everything out of whack, and there's no contract. So we see this idea in many ways. When they start doing that, they're destroying in society. It destroys our contracts, destroys our words. So if they can mess around with that, then who said this is male? Who said this is female? Who says this is black? Who said that's white? And we see this constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And who says that marriage has to be between man and woman? We're on air now. You could, I think, get arrested in Massachusetts maybe for saying this. But it used to be 10 years ago or more, there wasn't much of a question. Marriage was defined as between male and female, and then they decided that they would change the definition. You don't like, you lose in the game, change the rules. Who decided? Who decided?
A few judges in Massachusetts.
The judges in Massachusetts. It was the judges in Massachusetts.
It was a judicial.
Not the electorate, not through voters.
Supreme Judicial Court.
Not even voter, not even elected officials. It was the Supreme, SJC of Massachusetts that decided this, and aren't they the same ones that decided busing? Say yes, Jim. Aren't they the same ones that decided? Wasn't it a judge?
It was a judicial person in Massachusetts, but I think it was a federal judge.
A federal judge that decided you have to do
in
busing.
Massachusetts.
So once you start messing up with all these things in society, like the whole thing, you see it all over.
In Boston,
things go haywire.
Don't they have to have somebody bring something to them before they can vote, before they can have a ruling?
Yes.
Yeah,
There was a suit.
So it was decided by them, but it was a suit brought by people.
but it wasn't voted on, is my
It was a
point.
suit.
Oh, okay,
The
yeah.
electorate did not
right,
vote,
right.
and it wasn't
No.
done by an elected
It
official
wasn't
even.
legislated at all.
Wasn't legislated.
It was brought by certain individuals, and then there were amicus brief, meaning certain people joined in, like
And then,
this group and that group, and this in favor of that.
and then all the states that followed also did it through the courts.
Just like blue laws,
Yeah?
Blue laws also,
like the
It
blue
was
laws.
legislated. Wasn't legislated?
But it was overturned by, it was brought to the Supreme Court and decided that it was,
Legal,
that it was
constitutional.
illegal.
Illegal. Who, from Harold Chernock?
Yes,
They decided that it was constitutional, that
Yeah.
you could have a blue law.
You
But that was
couldn't.
the Supreme Court in Washington.
yeah, you could not have the blue laws.
No, I don't think so. They decided against Harold, I think.
No, they said, it was.
I think they decided against Harold, and eventually.
That's what Harold told me.
Oh.
I think it was legislated after that.
Okay,
I really
Yeah.
do. I think it
That's
was,
what-
I think they upheld,
That's what Harold
they
told me.
upheld it,
Okay.
and then and then it was legislated afterwards. And then you could sell, that was legislated, you could sell liquor, you could sell, it was legislated.
You know,
That wasn't a court thing as much.
I told someone we're gonna make our, I shouldn't say it there. It's, but you messed around with the absolutes, and last week we talked about absolutes, and you guys tried to convince me, no, that's not absolute, no, that's not really absolute. There are certain things that are absolute. White's white, 2 + 2 is 4. Maybe
not in some circles,
not, right.
not in some mathematical circles.
Mathematical, I'm
If you
saying,
apply the
don't,
core, how you call it, the
Right.
when you mess,
common core.
no, he means according to whatever math advanced in this,
Right.
2 + 2 is 4.
The only absolute is that we're gonna die. Anything else can change.
Depending what supplements you take.
No, I'm saying is that, anyways, so once you start messing around with all this, Jim, you're right. Everything
years.
else, there's no, everything's off the
That's what I'm.
Everything's on the table.
The Royal Academy in Spain said that the language they want to use, which is gender neutral, that's not how we talk. So they're changing, instead of being female or male, is they use the E. Instead of the A for female or O for male, they use the E. It sounds crazy.
So
And the Royal Academy said, no, that's not how we talk.
okay, so they stood up for language.
Yeah, because
But
there
s-
are
but
these
you have-
high schoolers all over, which you don't know what sex they are.
You have kindergartners.
Or they're bearded, talking like a woman. And they go, E, everything is gender neutral. And it's like, no.
If kids, whatever. If kids in kindergarten who are getting thrown out because they said he instead of she.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know where we were. Moshe
wait, that was
replied-
Korach. So Korach was the first to
Yes.
should overturn society. How did we get into this?
We're talking about
You
the
digress.
lack of connection
Slightly.
between Chachma and Bina,
Yeah.
and how I said that creates
The
the
root.
problem of a societal
Rudy got us on a tangent.
degeneration.
Okay.
I did that.
Well, let's finish.
Are we
this
on
one.
to explain?
Moshe replied,
No,
No.
to explain.
To explain.
to explain, the following explanation is based on the fact that the numerical value of Korach, Kuf, Resh, Hes, 100%, 100%, 308, plus that of Abel, Hes, Beis, Lamed, 5 plus 2 plus 30, 37, equals that of Moshe, Mem, Shim, He, 40 plus 300 plus 345. So Abel plus Korach equals Moshe. Elsewhere, the Arizal states that the evil side of Abel was expressed by the number 308, and that this evil was rectified in Abel's reincarnation, Moshe. This is indicated by the fact that Moshe's numerical value, 345, equaled that of the good in Abel, 37, plus that of the evil in him, 308. Korach, 308, was thus the evil in Abel that had been rectified in the soul of Moshe. Thus, he was a part of Moshe's soul, dependent upon him. But when he began his rebellion, he was rerouted to the soul of Cain.
What?
Kind. Whoa.
What? I missed it.
What's the GPS says? Rerouting?
Yeah, rerouting. Put in a new driver. They did.
All right, so basically Korach has the evil part of Cain.
Of Hevel.
Of Hevel.
Hevel. Oh. Soul
Well,
of Cain?
it does
What happened to the
say
soul of Cain
it
here?
does say that Korach was one of the extensions of Cain.
Yeah, then he got
Three.
rerouted.
There were five. I don't remember the other five, but there were three extensions of Cain. Were the Egyptian that Moshe killed,
Right.
his father-in-law Yisro,
Yeah.
Really?
and then Korach.
Okay.
That's right.
Oh.
Since Korach says
Hold
that
on.
Hold on.
Okay, you gotta digest this, right?
Were they
Yeah.
three separate reincarnations, or were they transmigrations?
Huh? One was a
Transmutations.
one was a. I'm not sure, but one was from the nefesh, one was from the ruach, and one was from the neshama.
Okay. So they weren't transmigrations.
And I think there were two more, but I don't remember who they were. But these three spell what?
308.
Korach. Spell the word Yukam. Yukam Huskies. Spell the word Yukam because Yud, Yisro, Kuf, Korach, Mem, Mitzri, the Egyptian, because Korach's, Cain's great-great-great-grandson, who accidentally killed him, said, Ki shivasayim yukam Cain. If Hashem allowed Cain to live seven generations, then he'll surely allow me to live many more. So he used the word yukam, that to survive for that long. Huh?
And there it is.
And there it is.
Okay.
Okay.
It's foreshadowing.
Yes.
Yeah, the word yukam. Okay. Phew. Where do you pick up that one? It's amazing.
Want to stop there?
What time is it?
Whoa.
Yeah, we gotta stop. What did it say?
I said, whoa.
Moshe's 345 is Hevel plus Korach. So Korach at first was the evil of Hevel,
Wow.
and it was rectified in the soul of Moshe,
And then, yeah, this one little,
dependent on Moshe,
Yeah, that
and
little
then he
paragraph.
started to
We
rebel.
can do this again.
So he got you get it? Rerooted.
rerouted,
How does it spell rerooted?
R-E-R-O-O-T-E-D.
It could just as well have written
Rerouted.
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 Now rerouting. Boom.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, that one, I mean, this whole,
Want to shut it off or
Okay.
hit a button, Rudy?
The second from the top. The one that's gray.